All right, Money Club, what's up? Today we're doing another how-to video, and this is a big one because of all of what's happening in media and news and money. Today we are talking about how the stock market and the economy are different. So Coach Gabe and I are here to break it down. Excited to have us back. Thanks for being here. Let's get right to it. So let's talk about a couple things that make sense to really highlight here. When we're dissecting stock and economy, there's a lot that's discussed and reflected in the numbers on the market that isn't reflected in the economy and vice versa. How do we know the difference?
Yeah, well, again, when you're seeing the Dow Jones is up or down, right? When you're seeing, the news stations sharing the overall health or lack thereof of the stock market, you're really only seeing these indexes, right? And these indexes are just tracking a select 30 to 500 companies in the overall stock market.
Yeah.
Now, a big thing that's happening right now is that, right, like certain industries from COVID were greatly affected, like airlines and hotels and, live performances and things like that. But other industries like big tech, Facebooks and Apples and Googles of the world are crushing it, right? And what they can do is they can selectively remove certain companies from those indexes, right, so that they make it look like everyone is doing better, right? Yeah. Because the industries that are doing poorly are underrepresented, and the industries that are doing well are overrepresented based on those indices, right? So again, that's a little technical, but it's it's kind of just a numbers, manipulation game that the kind of the economic powers that be can play, because again, the stock market is really all about perception, right? Yep. People, stocks are priced that way, and the stock market as a whole will go up or down based on what people think it's going to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of what they do are these financial acrobatics and these mathematical acrobatics to make it seem like the outlook is really rosy, so that people keep investing in the stock market.
And a lot of that has to do with storytelling, right? What this quarter says numerically versus what it says socially.
Yeah.
And that can be inclusive of new releases, new technology, new announcements, new partnerships that pumps that number forward. But economically may not have a dramatic effect, right? So there's a tremendous amount of things that happen in the stock market, whether it be ups or downs, that don't have complete correlation to what's happening in the economy. COVID being a great example. The stock market has been rising to some unprecedented levels, yet we also have unemployment at an all-time high. We have wages being cut. We have businesses closing. So they're often much more distinct than we like to give them credit and distance from, but it's really important that we talk about some other things. So another interesting piece of this is that most individuals, like more than half of the country, has some ownership in stock. And that's from retirement plans and from personal investing. So that means that a lot of people are invested. But if you look at some of the data, there's some numbers that suggest that the top 10% of wealth here in America, the top wealthiest 10% own like 80% of stock. So naturally, the distribution is not as equal as some would like it to be, but it again comes back to this reflection of stocks being a small sliver of the overall picture, where the economics of the whole country represent much, much more. I like to think of it like a sports team, right? So if you've got a soccer team of 11 people, stock market might be your forward, right? It's the one scoring points and it's the one getting in front of goal, but it doesn't count for the defense that might not have stats. It doesn't count for your keeper that, might be standing in back, orchestrating the defense. And while the stock market might be going up, your forward might be getting more valuable because he's scoring a lot of points. There's certainly other things happening on that team that influence that ability for him to score and also the overall success of the team. He might score 4 points, but if you give up 5, you still lost the game. So there's a lot of other things happening economically and via the stock market. Now, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to stocks. We are just getting warmed up. We've got a new course coming your way on stocks and investing. And we are actually here today to film some of those videos. So we have it coming out very, very soon. We're looking at an early October release date, where we're going to dive into how you can get started, why it's important, and what your options are when it gets there. And in the meantime, if you have questions about stocks, jump into the community, leave them in the comments section. We will always favor those that share in the community so that we can answer some questions and give you the help that you need. Stocks is a big part of wealth and growing stability and building for a future. And we've got so much coming your way. Let us know if you have any more questions.